Well, hi, I'm Zig, and this is game development, I think, with Godot 4.6 to be exact. Here's some music. That's maybe it's a tiny bit, maybe too loud. Yeah. So I have this place. Where's my screen? Godot debug. I have this screen. I have an app, I guess, a game. Sure. I'm launching Visual Studio, so it's. I forgot to launch it, to say the least. Yeah, the main goal is to learn a bit about shaders, in particular how to make spherical shaders from 2D. Because I'm not doing 3D because there's no reason to overcomplicate things. Hey, why you broken? Okay, I don't need a debugger. Launch it without debugging. The soundtrack. Close. Okay, so we have our game. It has nothing in it except it has an editor. Hello, Spider. Hi. Look, I have an editor of a game. So you can define the recipes, material counts. I need to update my code because apparently I forgot that I actually made changes on my laptop, which is not synced. We have building types. We have goods. Economies. I have no idea what I'll do with those. Let's go. And we have body types, which is what I'll probably be focusing today. Okay, this music is kind of distracting. Yeah. Body types. So I will want to make a shader which will draw a sphere, draw an atmosphere, maybe a bit of size based on the planet in particular. I have suns already, so I will play. This basically currently everything here is just text, it's just solar system. I want to have some way of representing each planet. So that's why we're making a shader. Was the menu eye is still broken. Okay, where's my branch? PGS. Pull changes. Yeah, check out and fast forward. There may be an issue because I'm maybe using older Godot. Maybe. Let's see how it goes. I thought about like having the chat like this, but that blocks the view for the code, so probably not. Don't launch the debugger. Game capture. Open. Huh? Why it broke? Did it change something? Godot debug. Galaxy Note? Yeah. This. Good. So there were changes in the editor, so you could actually change the fields easier in terms of like you don't need to know the JSON structure. And if you go play, menu fixed. So yeah, we have all of these. And we can still do this. And look at this. I made animations. Yeah. Now the thing flies actually from body to body. Whoop. And starts orbiting it. And if you go on it, you can see the overlay. It's a ship. It has some cargo capacity. And you can travel between the stars. Yeah. Zoom. Beautiful. Of course, if I open this, it's just the same, but it's something. So, shaders, isn't it? Yes, shaders. Okay. Where's my scenes? Ship star test. Do you need to have a folder named shaders that has nothing in it? Why? Okay, we create a new this needs to be hidden. Yeah. We create a new... Why my screen is not maximized? This one. Transform into screen. It's not maximized for some reason. There's like a teeny tiny gap. What is this weird music? Okay. So we have shaders. We create a new, probably a scene. It's a 2D scene, probably. Yeah, sure. Call it planet shader best. Then we add a sprite 2D. If I could actually type it. Sprite 2D. And now we need a texture. Now the thing is, there's two ways of doing this. We can either have a noise texture or have a noise inside the shader itself. Do we need to have a noise in shader itself? I don't know. Let's start with just a noise texture. Oh, it's pink. 512 by 512. Sure. We generate a fast noise. Oh look, it's a fast noise. What's this? Это... I can just make... Oh, so I can edit some things like this. Say, let's green. Hey, this one needs to be blue. And this one needs to be brown. Can make all kinds of stuff in here. I'm just messing around here. It is not particularly relevant. Sure, that resembles some kind of surface. So that's way of how to generate between, like, okay, if the planet has water or something. But in general, I think I will be needing to add the texture rather than use it here. Okay, seed. We add Perlin noise. Increase the frequency. What's the domain, bro? Fractal. Whoa. Ping pong. None. Sure, whatever, that actually does not do me anything, which just gets me something to work on. So that's a surface, and now I need a what? Seamless. Invert. Okay. Now we go to material. Material, new shader material. We open it up. Shader. New shader. Yep, planet shader. It's a canvas item. And we create a shader. So, the shader uses shader editor. We save it. First, let's see. I can show you one thing which I think I remember. Use vertex plus add vector 2. Oh, yeah, cosinus. Let's make it spin. Sinus. You know, the evil things of trigonometry. Times 100, so spin 100 pixels. Isn't what? Oh, float. Yeah, for some reason it does not cast float to int. Look! I made it spin! So that's what this vertex do. Basically, from what I understand, it takes your image, the square image corners, and just displace it in multiple places. There's some light thingies, but I don't know what it is. Making a sphere is a bit simple. Well, it's not that simple. The biggest issue is when you're making a sphere, if you just map it plainly, it will probably look like not great. So let's see if I can remember this. We need a vector to call it UV, and we take the UV. We need a float. Let's comment out the vertex because now it's currently just distracting. Say distance. And call it distance of UV. It's not? We need the radius. R equals 0.3. How do you do distance? What do you mean there's no distance? I forgot how to do this. Oh, it's just distance. So UV R float. Yeah, distance from something. I forgot how to. No. Okay, we'll have to look it up. So that's how you get, well, supposed to get the distance of it. To translate the UV, I need to divide it, remove 0.5. And it's very simple thing. If distance is less than R, then UV dot A equals 0. Which means do not display it. Else color equals texture? No. Yeah, texture. I forgot. Something texture and UV. That is what it needs to go, at least, but I don't actually remember. Godot, sphere, shader. Kinda. Yeah, I will be trying to replicate what's in this. So at the start, color RGB. Oh, it's just a method called texture. Texture. Why cannot I have a distance though? Distance. Float A. Vector 2, vector 2. Whoops. So if it's just UV and vector 2 of 0 dot 0 0 dot 0. And don't forget that thing. Oh, it's color.a. And of course I forgot the semicolon. Whoops. Well, that's definitely not correct. I think I need to invert it. Look, it's... Well, it's something. We got a sphere. So that's something in the right direction. Got myself a sphere. Color.rgb. UV. Oh, look. Now it's proper. Good. That's a planet. What if UV dot x plus equals time? Like that does not work. But anyway, look, a planet. So that makes a planet. Kind of. But it does not look right, does it? Yeah, because there is no parallax. There is nothing. I have a spinning sphere. That's one in the same tutorial. In any direction. I'm looking over the the website. Whoa. I think that's just way too complicated for what I'm needing. It is close to what they want. It's already 9 p.m. Amazing. So that just displays how we can do this, and if we move the vertex, now it's like orbiting around. That is close, but not that much. We can, although, use it to make an atmosphere, though, in some way. Which probably going to just be the same thing. And instead of unknown identifier, do we need UV? Not really. Vector 2, UV. Don't need this one. Let's say atmosphere. Pass in the UV. And instead of multiply, we multiply. Instead of texture, we add the color. Wait, no. Vector 4, which is vector 3 of for the color, be like 1. And opacity, half. Add, multiply. There's no matching function for the atmosphere. I just made it. Why there is no? Does it have to be like defined on top, like in C? No identifier color. Trying to think that I need to return the vector. Vector 4. And we return 0. Vector 4 of 0. Yeah. And we return vector 4 of this something. So we get this atmosphere color. Divide times atmosphere. Stable. That's not correct. Oh, look, it's an atmosphere. What if I add instead? I do need to increase the distance to 5. Multiply will not do anything. I need to actually add it. Something radial. Add it. Well, something definitely not correct, but in principle, something like this. Yeah. So, to make the planet look more like a sphere rather than a flat pancake or a petri dish, we need to get some more stuff in it, which is a special kind of distortion. The link I pasted uses CC0 license. This is very important because you may just do something that you shouldn't. Okay. Yeah, I can copy paste the shader, or I can actually type it and maybe better to remember it. So uniform float, which is we define the parameters which we can change. It's saying aspect ratio. We don't need aspect ratio. Or do we need aspect ratio? Why is it 2? Well, I don't need the aspect ratio. We need a float of rotation speed 0.3, which is, I guess, 30% per second or something. I don't know what's the unit for. It's probably for some reason this also has a parameter as shadow. No idea why. We need P. P is built in, we don't need it anymore. Sphere. So there will be a bit of a difference. Let's make a method, call it simple sphere. We pass in vector 2 of UV and vector 4 of color. And what's the texture? Or not, I don't know, I don't care. So we delete all of this. So that was example of how to do it on basic sphere. Would work in some way. Probably. Actually, I can just comment this out. To do will be map texture to sphere. Generate noise texture within the shader. Probably going to be better. Float px equals 2.0 times, I'm not used to using this, v.x minus 0.5. So this would get me a point 2. Minus 0.5 is definitely just for centering. So I need to fix up my sitting position. Wait, pardon. I'm a bit too far away. So then we get float py. It's basically the same thing. I can just copy paste, just change the y. So we get our coordinates. This one's a bit different, though in principle the same. What is a sphere? A sphere is defined by a function called x squared plus y squared equals 1, where 1 is your sphere radius. So we check if px times px plus py is more than 0.1. Well, 1. If it's more, we don't need to display it. So we say color.a, which is alpha, which is in terms is just how transparent it is or opaque it is. Look, we are back at the sphere. Good. Else, we need to transform the coordinates, which I will be doing same. So px equals arcsin px divided by square root of 1.0 minus pi y times pi y. Yep, that's one thing, times, if you already add the constant py, you just don't do 2 pi. Const, wait, 2 pi, nope, pi, const float 2 pi, 2 times 0 times pi, because that's how it needs to go. Okay, and go down to pi. Oh no, never mind. It's not times, it's divided. Whoops. And pi y equals all arcs in pi times 2 pi constant. Okay. Now we look for the color, which will be color mapping. We map the current texture. So basically you say, hey, we'll take in our current texture, which is a noise texture, and we'll pick the coordinates. So it's vector 2, so x, y coordinates. For first coordinate, we say pick from the center and transform it by this value. Just, I guess, math. That divides by aspect ratio because we're not using aspect ratio. It's 1 because we're using a square. We don't need. And subtractive rotation. Just nope. And for the y coordinates, it's kind of similar, just y. 0, something like that. Now I just do this. Okay. It's definitely better than my previous attempt. And we have a constant as shadow for some reason, which is color.rgb vector 3 0 times 0, basically just 0. Don't need for everything. And color.a times equals 0.9. Okay, so we have our planet. Interesting. It's supposed to not be a single blob. Not sure why. That's an ent. What? I think I did most things okay. Arcs in 2 divided by pi. Yeah. What if I do true? Just makes a dark version of it. Rotation speed. So this is supposed to work. Obviously it does not work. Make sure to set the repeat import flag for your texture. texture, repeat, enabled. Whoa! It's here. Look at this. Beautiful, isn't it? It's a planet and it spins. That setting. Make sure enable repeat in your texture. Very important. And it spins. And it goes. Okay. Honestly, that is amazing. The person who made this already pasted the link, so nice. And now I can do some weird stuff. What does it in 3D space do? Just it changes the texture a bit. Can increase the frequency or reduce the frequency. Which reducing the frequency does definitely makes it better. Look, it's a 2D sphere. Let me iterate. It's a 2D sphere. What's the color of water? Deep blue. Okay. Bit more shallow waters. Yep. You are not needed. Another thing is kinda washed out. Look, it's a planet. It's kinda trippy when you look from the closer. But I guess because it also spins too fast. Infinite planets. Okay. And I can like change the shader parameters. But what if I do it in 3D space? Is it actually better? No, same thing. It's still kinda trippy. That's even more trippy. Okay. And we have then parameters which you can shave. What's the if shadow? More speed. More. Now. We do this. Look, that's so trippy. A 1,000. Oh wait, that's actually better. Look at that. It actually orbits. Amazing, isn't it? We can change the speed by divided by 10. 10 by 0, okay. Not 10. Ta-da! A planet that orbits and spins around too. Is it... Okay. So we have a planet. Now... I will need a atmosphere on it though. Texture. If I create a gradient texture 2D, say its size will be same 5 to, well, 600 on 600. Go material, shader material. Oh, this needs to be unique. Because if I click this, it changes both. Make unique. A shadow. Kinda. We need to invert the colors. Let's say the atmosphere is blue-ish. Okay, that does not help. Why can't I delete it? Oh, because I'm focusing on the wrong plates. I don't know. Yes. Good. That requires saving this. Planet with a noise texture spins and looks okay. Okay, the shader also has some mentioning about the atmosphere. Sprite 2D may supply by solid blah blah. In second example, I use 2 more sprites, both a 2D cloud texture, also provided by a scope. So for example, if I add another sprite 2D, add another noise texture, because clouds are noise. Make make it slightly bigger, 550 and 550. New noise texture. Reduce the frequency. Make it not inverted, seamless as normal map. Nope. Texture enabled. Material, new shader material, but the same shader. Planet shader. And as a shadow. Why is it so dark? Okay. Or does it need to be like that's not correct. Two must price both of the cloud 2D texture also provided by blah blah on the has shadow parameter through which creates a dark, somewhat transparent shapes on the earth. Dark but somewhat transparent shapes on it. The non-channel class part is scale slightly larger than over two sprites. Simply adding a radial gradient behind the plant. A radial gradient. As it aside, simply adding a radial gradient behind the plant to create an atmospheric look. There's something not correct about it. It's because I'm using the noise texture, not just gradient. Mesh. Gradient 1D. Not sure. How do you do this? Is it more important? No. Uh, 2D glow, I think that's how it needs to be. The 2D glow should be kind of similar. Or have a separate shader for just glowing. Blue? atmosphere maybe. Okay, smooth radiant gradient. Let's check the licensing. CC0. Okay. Choose colors. That is a lot of parameters. How far? Let's just... Okay, that's not as complicated as I thought it would be. If it's a shadow. Mix. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what atmospheric effect because I'm just currently just by. Can I get distance? Oh, look, atmosphere. Oh, look, it's glowing. Where's the distance? Center. Float. Distance. Distance. Vector 2. 0.0. And UV. Times the number. Distance. Oh, 0.5. 0.5, it means center. Squishiness. Squishiness. Wait, 0.5. Times squishiness. What? That kind of does not give me anything. Oh wait, I just need to make a bigger atmosphere. So 800 by 800. Render mode, blend add. Okay. Can this be the noise texture? Not really. Oh wait, no. Can. Just need to increase the noise texture size. Never mind, it does not help. Wait a minute. Step 1. Step 2. 2 colors. Copy the 2 colors. Have 2 ranges. Why hand color does not exist anymore? Dot 4.6 hand color. Did they change it? Color, blah blah, color. Nope. Source color. Okay. So that gives me this. And we go down here. Make smooth squishes. Size. What's the size? Gradient size or something, I don't know. Yeah. Now the difference here, instead of this one, we just say color. Yeah. What else? Just color. Oh look, it's just black color. Color 1. Let's say blue. Okay. Color 2, let's say white. What? Hmm. This does not look right at all. Why is this somewhere? Oh, I need to multiply by this value. An atmosphere? No way. It's a size. Oh, it says step. Make it just nothing. Look, it has atmosphere. Let's go. Atmosphere achieved. Beautiful. So the resource for this shader is here. So now my planet has an atmosphere. What if I put it on top? Okay, it's just close. Yep. Good. Very good. I made atmosphere. We can change the color of atmosphere. I guess if I took the same planet, copy, paste, and change the parameter of opacity. Modulate, make it a half as visible. Make texture without no colors. Yeah. It actually looks very good. Okay, I cannot do that. I need to make unique stuff. Make texture unique. Good. Increase the size of it to 600. Yeah. Noises. Looks odd. It's just noise. Reduce the frequency even more. Go to visibility. Where's the visibility? Here. Modulate. Oddly enough, the alpha does not change here at all. Self-modulate? Nope. Show behind. White mask. Go to material shader parameters, a shadow. As shadow. And we need to separate the atmosphere shader. Hi. I don't know. Okay, this is not working. So we close this one. And I guess the atmosphere is here. Though separating atmosphere shader probably is a good idea. If I want like more complicated shapes, which I probably don't because that's not relevant. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, hello. Hi. Welcome. If you're interested what kind of resources I'm using, I actually can paste it also in the chat here. Basically, I'm trying to use these resources to make, I guess, the planets. I have all this universe I want to fill up with stuff. So I need a shader to create those stuff. Yeah. So we have a planet. The issue is that it requires a texture in the sprite, which is, I don't think that's correct. So I look up the resources. I guess it's just water. Water shader. I see planet shader using planet texture and glow over it. Yeah, it's basically you have one shader which is just glowing, and on top of it is just a planet. Probably would be a good idea to have some like blur on the edges or something like that, but that's as much as I can do. I always was bothered with shaders because I'll have to learn maths to understand it, and I don't know if I'll ever reach the stage of writing it without help. Honestly, I probably would not be able to write it without it too. Like, a difference between planet shader and the water shader is very similar. You just use the noise generator, different noise generator. And the math is mostly just geometry, kinda. You could do a white to blue clear gradient given that reflect light effect. Wait, what colors am I actually using? This is a planet, this is this one. Well, does it change this? Probably not. So if you go to shader parameters, I'm currently using a one color. I can like do it like this. And the other color is also currently just transparent. Because you see, the last color needs to be, I guess, transparent, so it would fade out. But if I add another thingy, which is the third color, step 3, and we go to the bottom, color equals mix, same thing, copy, paste, and change the colors 2 to 3, 2 to 3. Oh, that's mix. Yeah, so we change the third color to transparent. We change the second color to something which is not transparent, white or something. What did it use for? Wait, where is that shader? The step is different. It should be 2. That's 2. Lerp between white, blue, and then transparent. So the second one should be bluish, the first one should be whitish. Now the question is, why is it so squishiness? Maybe the squishiness is not okay, or the sizes. Set step in the sprite window. Oh. What's the third? Oh, look, this one. So we increase this one. That is not correct, blue. If we increase the size of it. See if I... Oh, I know what could be. Yeah, also probably need a bigger texture. See? And probably the colors are not correct. What's this? What the color is of the sky? Because if I hide my planet, you see the first step is basically not existent. Is it because of the size? No. The size. Squishiness? Is it the step size? No. It's just basically a lot of tuning for this particular shader. It's because I have this color. Or am I just using the wrong colors in here? So, color 1 and 2. Oh, I know why. The second needs to be color. It's a bug. Yeah, it's a bug. Yeah, I needed to mix my already existing color. I was mixing the wrong color. So I can reduce the size of like the white glow. Reduce the size of the blue glow. Yeah. And that's a shader. Of course I can tune it to infinity, but the thing is, the parameters will be selected from the generated code. So that's just one planet and needs thousands. Literally thousands of planets. But that does work. Oops, too close. Why this? Oh, it's just the layers. Looks pretty good. I would say it looks pretty good. And look, it's not super complicated. Autumn's, I guess the best option how to learn it is just try with basic shapes, basic shaders, and then combine two. And the link I posted is very. I mostly get all of the resources from there. If you're looking for actually using those shaders in other projects, make sure the licensing is CC0 or at least attribution. So yeah, this is the shader. We also have this shader. That is what I did not write. I just copied over. And we have the planets. Okay. The next thing what we want to do is how to add the noise texture to the shader itself. Shaders. Okay, for example, we have clouds. Clouds 2D. Pixelation, that's maybe a bit. Cloud speed, color gradient, center position. Texture. Noise UV scale. Is it fire shader? Godot logo. Wanna see even more interesting thing, I think? We have color. Wait, that's a single shader. Vector 2D. Color. That spins the texture itself. Again, I don't know actually how to do this. Dot shaders. Noise texture. There's some amazing shaders made in the example. So yeah, when I guess developing shaders, you don't need to learn everything. If it's good enough for you, it's fine. Cloud texture. Uniform sampler 2D. Good. Wait, why would I need to generate it as different? noise as parameter. Parameter. Uniform sampler 2D. Planet noise. Expected data type. Sampler. If I go to shader parameter now, okay. Just ideally would like to not use a sprite as a sampler. I want everything be inside the texture itself because I don't need a sprite. The shader should be able to take in the texture. And it does not need to move. Though this actually may work with clouds too. Do I need? No, I don't need to. I only need to pass in the planet shader. So, cloud layer. Group uniforms planet layer. Okay, it makes a new group, planet layer. Sky color, mix ratio, I don't care. It's called cloud texture. Oh, you just pass the texture like this. So instead of having it here as a texture, you use planet layer, planter layer. What? That's a typo, but that's okay. Oh look, it's a sun. I just made a sun. Then you get some water ripples on the corona and you have a actual sun. Beautiful. Why did it suddenly jumped? Okay. You can mix the textures apparently too. Okay. So now, technically I don't need all of this. Do I? Yeah, I don't think I need any of this. But I do need the material. Then we go to planet noise. We say, hey, it's a noise texture 2D. So I have 512 pass noise. Or do I need to? Let's expand this one. Yeah, Godot takes a lot of space. And screen space, not physical space. It's actually very light engine. Okay, now we have some problem. I guess as it has no dimensions. Texture. As it has no dimensions, it can't do anything about it? Fact. I guess it does need a texture. Nope. Atlas texture. Canvas texture. Image texture. Or just drop in the Godot logo. Yeah, that's a bit problematic. Generate map maps. Paths in the texture, but it does not set the enable thingy. Repeat enable. Oh, texture. Repeat enable. Look, tiny planet. This time I pass in the shader here. But I guess or maybe instead of a sprite, it needs to be a canvas item. Yeah, because you see it kind of breaks if I don't have it. Canvas modulate, not really. It wasn't controls, I think. Color rectangle. And then material, shader material, quick load, planet shader. It's either very tiny or does not exist at all. Noise texture. Fast noise. Repeat enable. Yeah, it's a color rectangle. Oh wait, look, it's here. Yeah, so instead of sprite 2D, you just add color rectangle. Yeah. And this color rectangle is not centered though. Why is it so tiny? I can change the size of it. It's a pancake. Size. F12. Positions as 2. That kind of works. Not sure which one is better because I still need to create a thing on it to be able to display it. Seamless 3D space, but that does not help anything. Something. Okay. Is it good enough? Maybe. But at least I guess reduce the issues with it. So every time I need to create a planet, I can just create a new either color rectangle or a sprite 2D. Yeah, and that just spins around. And then I expose the parameters to the shader and we'll be able to generate it, hopefully. And technically should be able to create thousands of these. Gaussian blur splat mask. What else I can have? Some amazing shaders out there. It's just very basic math. Yeah. I could like add a planet shader. Look, that's how it looks in space. Of course, it's way too big. But it's there. Can I scale it? Oh, I can. Yeah, and it just rotates by the center point. And I can just move it around. Can make... Look, it basically shows what I want to do. So we have a sun, we have a planet, we have a moon, we have a moon, we have a moon. It does not allow me to zoom in more. And then I just do this, do this, do this, do this. Let's go. And I can make thousands upon thousands of these, and they will be able to do things. Yeah. The wonders of shaders. Pretty good. Pretty good. So, let's recap what I did today. Oh, look at that stuff. That is not the right thing. Scene root tab, scene main scene. So, what I did today is explored a bit with the shaders. I made a shader, well, combined from a couple of these, where you could have an atmosphere, though it does require having two parameters. I may actually combine it into a single shader somehow, probably with another texture. Yeah, I made a shader which you can add a noise to it. It has a couple of parameters, rotation speed, for example. Can make it slower, rotate in different direction, change the atmosphere. You can add the atmosphere, change its layers. Basically, from the noise texture, you can generate the planet surface. This will depend on what kind of planet it is. So I may need to experiment with the different options. So for example, have the same kind of the color palette for each planet, maybe slightly different. And just use a different seed for the planet itself. Can make it like this, like many islands, or just something, a gas giant or something. And change the seed if I need a different kind of planet. The gradient is the same, but the planet looks different. That's at the main warp. That actually looks pretty good. The shader itself also has an orbiting mechanic. It's mostly for show. Yeah, learn how to do the sphere mapping, which is again very simple. It's just distance as a sphere equation. Use a bit of our math to actually map the 2D texture on the sphere. And then color it. Yeah. So that's what I did. Pretty good. Need to commit the changes. Atmosphere. And passing in the texture. So, as the shader uses a noise parameter, means that I should be able to do that in the generation, which is very important. The general object just uses a color rectangle, the base color. This can also just change the base color, just it should not do anything. Yeah, you see? It changes the location of the shader itself. Whoops. Yeah. I guess next time I'll be trying to somehow generate a system. There's possibility of like combining one of the shaders into multiple shaders, like one shader to render them all, but that may be complicated a bit too much. So let's see. I think that should be okay. Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good. A job well done. Discard those changes. I don't need those changes. Let's fix it up. And I guess for the YouTube, I would say bye bye. If you want to, you can also check out my Twitch channel, which is what I forgot. Zinc LT. Yeah. Maybe I should merge some things, but we'll see. So yeah. Actually, pretty